Grandma here. It is January 3rd, 2024. I recorded some video in the car yesterday while I was running a couple of errands. So I'm going to share that with you guys, and then I will come back and tell you about a handful of solds that I've had since the 30th of December. It has been very quiet, both on eBay and District. So I've had 7 sales total, 6 on eBay and 1 on District since the 30th. So, not horrible, but it's been very quiet. Anyway, it's giving me time to kind of do some things in my store, but I'll get into that later in the video. So, here's the footage from yesterday. And again, I will have chapters down below so that you guys can jump around and watch whatever you're interested in. I will see you when it's over. When this part's over. When this next part is over. All right. We are on our way to UPS. And then the post office. And then I need to go get water. And then...
No and then! No and then! No and then!
I have to stop at Dollar General because they have this bacon that my mother buys for one of the cats. He's so spoiled. They have this bacon. It's this one flavor, this one brand, I should say. Anyway, it's partially cooked, or it's like cooked, but it's not really cooked enough. Like if I was putting it on a sandwich, I would nuke it for another minute and a half or whatever. But anyway, so that's where we're going. But I thought I would share. Oh, Happy New Year, first off. I hope everybody had a nice New Year's Eve and you had a good New Year's Day. And we are into the year now, into 2024. I'm going to have trouble remembering that. At least I don't write checks anymore. That used to be such a pain in the ass. Every time, we were in a new year, you'd always, like the first month of writing checks, you had to, try and remember, and I always forgot. Anyway, I think this is crooked. Lovely. So, the only reason I'm going to UPS is because I am sending in my old iPhone. Amazon has a program where you can do it as a trade-in or whatever, and all right, I'm trying this again. I don't know. I've got the new phone and it's being weird, and we'll get to that, but I'm going to UPS because Amazon has a trade-in thing where you can trade in your old iPhone, and depending on the condition of it, decides how much they'll give you back. Well, my phone, my iPhone 8 that I had, was still in great condition. I had put in, I'd gotten a new battery for it like a year ago, so the battery isn't that old, maybe a year and a half ago. Anyway, no scratches on the screen. I never dropped it or anything, you know what I mean? Didn't have any damage. So they estimated that I'll get $67 back for my phone, and they gave me a label to ship it, and they put the credit on my Amazon account already. So I was like, well, that's cool. So that's getting shipped, and it has to go UPS. So that's why I'm going to UPS. Then I got to go to the post office, and I'm a beauty queen today. I didn't even look in a mirror yet today because I was on the phone with tech support because of the new phone, which I am using right now. It took 2 hours, over 2 hours yesterday. I got the phone on the 30th, and I didn't have time to sit down and just be with the phone until yesterday. So I spent a little over 2 hours yesterday getting everything transferred. You just put the phones next to each other and they kind of do it all themselves, but you have to be there to push things and stuff, answer questions, whatever. Anyway, I got everything transferred over. I did a factory reset on my old phone because this one seemed to be working okay, and Anyway, I got the other phone in the box ready to ship to Amazon, and I started noticing things with this new phone. And I've always gotten refurbished ones from Amazon. This is the first time I've had a problem, you know. Anyway, the home button, I noticed, you know, normally the home button is flush with the screen. There's no, I mean, you can feel it, but there's really no indentation. I don't know if that makes sense. If you have an iPhone, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I noticed that the home button was indented a little bit. And I was like, well, that's weird. Maybe it's a new thing with this particular phone, you know. So I went online and started reading stuff, trying to find out if the home button is supposed to be a little bit recessed. And I couldn't find anything that addressed the issue, you know. So I was like, okay, I've got to go into UPS. So I will be right back. Okay, so thankfully that was quick. The home button was a little bit recessed from the screen, which was my first, like, wonder if there's something wrong with this phone. Then I went online, started reading stuff, and people mentioned, oh great, this person's trying to make a left-hand turn in a busy spot. Okay, you need to go now, dude. What are they waiting for? Anyway, so some people online had mentioned that there was an issue with the charging cable when they had this recessed home button. So I was like, huh. So I plugged in my charging cable, but I plugged it into my computer because then I could also check to see if the data transfer would work. When I plugged it in, if I moved the phone at all, I would lose the connection with the cable. Like it wasn't talking to my computer anymore, which told me that little port in the phone where the charging cable plugs in was not, it was loose, you know. So that's issue number 2 now. I've got a depressed home button. The charging port isn't great. It's a little bit loose because, again, I'm losing the connection when it's plugged in, you know. So it would charge when I had it on my, I have one of those phones. It looks like a phone stand, but it's a charger. So you just lay the phone on it and it charges it. So I have one of those. So I don't have to plug my phone in to charge it. But when it's supposed to be refurbished and it's basically brand new, I'm sorry, I want everything to work like it's supposed to, you know. Now, if I had bought this phone from my friend Sam or whoever, and they said, well, you know, there's some things wrong with it, and I would accept that. But since I paid over $160 for this, which I realize is cheap for an iPhone, I don't care. They said it's refurbished, it needs to be 100% or close, you know. So, anyway, so that's 2 things now that are wrong with this phone. And I'm like, do I want to live with these and hope that they don't get worse? Then I noticed the battery not holding a charge very well. I had charged it to 100%, hadn't really used it at all, and it was at 95% this morning without being used, just sitting there, you know. I'd used it, but I had set my alarm and I had looked at my phone once, and that was it. That was the extent of what I did to use it. So the battery should not drain that much. And then while I was on hold or on the phone with Amazon support, it went down to 90%. And I'm like, okay, that's messed up. It shouldn't be dropping. It's almost like they got this phone as a trade-in, looked at it and went, yeah, looks okay, and just sent it out to me, you know, like they didn't actually refurbish it. Maybe they put a new screen on it. I have no idea. It looks to be in the same condition as the phone that I'm doing as a trade-in, you know, so, you know, because I took care of my phone. It doesn't have any scratches. There's nothing wrong with it. It looks brand new, you know, so... Anyway, so I got a hold of Amazon this morning. We're at the post office now, so I'm going to have to pause this again. I had to call back because the first person that I got, I couldn't understand her. They're in the Philippines or wherever they are, and her accent was just so strong, and she wasn't answering me on any. I would ask her question and there was just silence, and I'm like, are you there? Yeah, I'm here. Well, what the fuck are you doing? You're not talking to me, you're not telling me anything, you're not answering my questions, you're not helping me. So I ended up hanging up on her. I called back and I got a guy who was very helpful. I could understand him, and he understood me, which was the bigger thing. If I can understand them or not, I don't really care about that. I want them to be able to understand me and what I'm telling them, and she clearly was not getting what I was saying. So I'm gonna pause this or stop this for a second so that I can go drop off my packages. Okay, packages are dropped off. They had that big box with all the boxes in it again, and I thought about grabbing some, but I didn't. I still have 2 from when I grabbed some before. They're the exact kind of box, exact same kind of boxes, and I don't know what they are. Anyway, back to the story, so that I don't get trailed off and start talking about something else. So the guy, listened to me, and I told him what was going on with the new phone, and I told him, I said, my issue now is if I send this in, to get a replacement, I'm going to be without a phone for who knows how long until they, send me a new one. Because I'd have to send it in, they'd have to get it, maybe a week at the most. Anyway, he says, is the new one working? And I said, yeah, it's not great, but it's working, so, I can use it to make phone calls. I'm obviously using it to record a video. It's doing the things it's supposed to. It just has problems. And he said, okay, so here's what we're going to do. He's put me on hold for a second. I don't know if this guy was a supervisor or what, but I don't know. He seemed to know what he was doing. And he said, we're going to do a one-time thing. You just keep the phone and we're going to give you a refund. Just consider it a gift. And I almost fell over. Okay. This person I thought was going to go, but they're not. Anyway, I told him, I said, I don't have a problem returning this phone. I'll gladly, what am I going to do with it, And I said, I'll return it, but I just need to have a phone that I can use in the interim, No, that's okay. You don't need to worry about it. We're going to, we'll just refund you. You can buy another phone. Because I was going to buy another phone. This is what I told him anyway. I left this part out. I said, I can buy another phone from a different provider. I was going to use, because they have, third-party sellers that sell these through Amazon. And I didn't go with the same one that I bought from last time. I went with someone else. And I should have just purchased from the one that I purchased from last time because I had better luck with them, People are driving like bats out of hell today. I don't know what everyone's problem is, but they need to stop it. They're going to cause an accident. There's motorcycles up here. Anyway, I told him, I said, I will send this phone back. I just need to order a new one. And then I was going to have to pay for another phone. So I would have over $300 out there floating around until I could get my money back on the one that was messed up. This one that I'm using right now, And he said, and that's when he told me. He said, no, we're just gonna give you your money back. You can just consider it a gift, and you don't need to return the phone. And I was so shocked. Okay, here's the thing. I still haven't gotten the refund, so I'm 50-50 on whether I'm actually going to see this refund or not. I think I will. You know, I'm hopeful that I'm actually going to get the refund, but I'm not holding my breath. You know, if the refund shows up in my account, then great. Everything's good, you know, and I don't know what I'm going to do with this phone. But, you know, if it doesn't show up, I've already ordered a replacement phone. Then I will have to contact Amazon again and find out about returning this phone and getting my money back, you know. And like I said, I don't mind returning it. I don't have a problem with that at all. I just want to make sure I have something. And that's the other thing. I need to get all my data off of this phone and onto the new one before I can send this one back, if I end up having to send it back. You know, if he didn't actually do a refund. I'm pretty sure he did. He seemed like he knew what he was doing and like he had the authority to do that. It's all about who you talk to when you call, you know? And if I get stupid people, I guess from now on, if I get somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, or it seems that way, I'll just hang up and keep trying until I get somebody that does know what they're doing. Anyway, that is my Amazon story, and I just totally screwed it up. I should re-record it, but I don't want to. So you guys are just going to have to listen to me fumble my way through it. And I do not feel like getting water today. Ugh, I don't know. I don't feel like being around people any more than I have to. So I'm just going to go. I don't want to go into 99-cent only today. I just don't feel like it. I'm going to go get the bacon for my mother. Oh, it's busy anyway. Forget it. Yeah, the parking lot's packed. I'm not going there. Well, it's not packed, but it's busier than normal. So I will pass on the 99-cent store today. I will go another day. I think that's it. I think that's it for now. I've had some sales. Not a ton, but I think I had 5 or 6 sales since the last video. So I might do those at the end of this. It just depends. I may not even bother with this video because it's been a mess. I know I didn't make sense a few times and I'm having word issues and my mouth isn't working like it's supposed to. Well, that happens a lot though, but still, like, I jumble my words sometimes. Anyway, all right, that is it for now. All right. Now that you've seen the footage from the car, I have, if you saw that, if you watched that part, you know that I have a surprise refund coming from Amazon. And it's pending on my bank account already. So I expect it to take a few days, but it's already pending on my bank account. So it looks like they are refunding as they promised. And my new phone that I reordered is supposed to be here tomorrow, so we will see. And this one that I recorded with yesterday, the battery is down to 58%, and I've barely used it. So, you know, I did record those videos and stuff, but normally it doesn't use. It's just this phone overall not great. And again, that's the first time I've gotten a refurbished one where it's had issues. So, you know, hopefully it was just a fluke, and this next one I get will be like the first 2 that I bought refurbished from Amazon. They were fine and lasted me 3 years each. And actually, I think I think there's been, because I've had each one for about 3 years, and it's been going on. I think this is my 4th phone that I've purchased refurbished from Amazon. So, you know, I guess after 3 times of having very good luck, it was time for me to get a crappy phone. Anyway, so my sales. I'm going to have to pause this when I go to the district one because I didn't pull the numbers yet, but I do have the numbers for the eBay sales. So I'm going to go through those. Then I will pause this, get my numbers for the district, and tell you guys about that one. And anyway, the first item I sold, and I have had these in my store for a very, very long time, and I just lumped them together because they were so They weren't worth much on their own. They really weren't worth very much together, but I thought, well, maybe I can sell them both, at the same time. They finally sold. It was a Tupperware single pie slice keeper, and it was purple, and an icing decorator ball with five. It had all five of the tips that come with them. Anyway, they sold for $8.59, and shipping was $6.07. Again, I've had them for a very, very long time, and I'm just glad they're out of here. The next item I sold was a Delft earthenware polychrome full color tiles. The one was a soldier and the other one was a drummer. These tiles, I purchased a lot of tiles from, not a lot. I mean, there were quite a few, but it was a lot of tiles, just individual tiles from one of the auctions. I saw some in there that looked interesting to me, and I've never sold tiles before. I don't know anything about them, but these were two that I thought might be something. And these two tiles, I can't even remember what I paid for I think I paid $2 for all the tiles, plus fees and stuff. So three, maybe $4 at the most. Anyway, these two tiles sold for $30. Just these two, $30. So I way more than made my money back. I did quite well on that sale. And I've still got a whole bunch more tiles, and some of them are being watched. I will send out offers, the normal things, and I'll reduce prices on some of them. Now that I've made my money back plus some, I don't really care how much the other ones sell for. And I know I don't want to drive the prices down for anyone else that's selling the same thing. But at the same time, I also want to get rid of mine. So what I will probably start doing is dropping the price on the tiles that I'm selling individually, or if there's just a couple together, I'll start dropping them by $1, maybe, I don't know, every couple weeks, and until somebody buys them. You know what I mean? Especially the ones that are being watched. If they don't take an offer, then I'll just start gradually dropping the prices until they go. So anyway, that was a very good purchase. I'm glad I bought those because, that was like over $20 profit. And yeah, for two tiles. The next item I sold was a stoneware art jug. Had a Cocapelli. It was a vase jug, whatever. Had some rope on it. It was really kind of cool looking. I bought this in a lot with some other stoneware type things, jugs and jars and things, and didn't pay a lot for them. I think I paid $5 or $6 for the whole lot, and there were, I don't know, maybe six items in it. So about $1 a piece. Anyway, this particular jug sold for $15.49, and shipping was $15.33. It was quite large and quite heavy. Well, it wasn't huge, but it was still a little over 12 inches tall. So, and it was girthy, so it was heavy. Anyway, that is gone, and I have now made all my money back on that lot too. So any of the other, and I think I've already sold a jar, one of the vases or jars that I got in that lot, so it may already be paid for. The next item I sold was something that I picked up recently at a yard sale. Was a single brass reindeer. The head was raised. It had antlers. It was 6.5 inches tall, and it sold for $10. I think I got two items. I got that ironwood duck and the brass reindeer for $8. So technically $4 a piece. I already sold the duck, and I made a decent profit on that. And so I made about 8 on this one, So I doubled my money, which is fine. At this point in this stage in the game, I'm not worried about doing more than that because I have to be careful. If you guys have been around, I have to be careful how much money I make right now because I took Social Security early and there are limits on how much you can make. So I'm not going crazy here. Once I hit 65 and I've got a year and a half left, then I can make however much it doesn't matter. It won't affect my Social Security. So for now, this is just keeping me busy, and I'm making a little bit extra money and, paying a couple bills. And the next item I sold, this was stupid to buy. I don't even know why I bid on it, but I did. So, but at least it sold. It was a 2002 vintage Barbie Victorian tea. She was blonde, and the box was in decent shape. Anyway, for being over 20 years old, the box, it was in pretty good shape. And anyway, she sold for $12.74. I don't remember what I paid for her, but I know I made my money back, and I made, I don't know, maybe $5, but it wasn't great. And the shipping that the customer paid or the buyer paid was $7.35. Um, I don't know if I told you what the shipping was on that reindeer. They paid 10 and they paid 9.88 in shipping on the brass reindeer, in case I didn't tell you. I don't even know if I told you about this yeah, I did tell you about the jug. Okay. I'm tired. I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning. I don't know why. And didn't go to bed until after 1. So anyway, so I'm really going to be extra stupid today, or extra, brain farty. Okay, the last eBay item was 6 Spode Christmas tree drinking glasses. They were the taller glasses. The last ones that I sold were the like whiskey type glasses. Anyway, these were taller, and I paid 50 cents a piece for these, I believe, at at one of the thrift stores. Anyway, they sold for, it was either, no, maybe it was a dollar piece for these. It was 50 cents a piece for the other ones. Excuse me. Anyway, so I paid $6 for them plus some tax. Anyway, sold them for $25.49. So I at least doubled my money, a little bit more than that. And shipping was $14.37. I am going to pause this so that I can pull the numbers on my district sale. Okay, the item that sold on district was a vintage Yugoslavian folk art hand carved walnut wood wedding or shepherd's cup. It was really kind of a cool item. This came in a lot with a bunch of other weird things, some wooden type things. Anyway, this sold for $14 and the buyer paid $6.39 in shipping. And I cannot remember. I didn't pay individually for this, and I believe that lot is paid for. So this is just going to be profit. Whatever I get from the 14, I think it's going to be somewhere around 10 or $12, you know. So not a huge sale, but still there's some activity over at District, so that was good. Anyway, that is it for my solds. And there's really not much else to tell you guys other than I'm starting to go through my store, and I think what I'm going to be doing is ending anything that is listed for under. I haven't picked the dollar amount yet. I don't know if I want to go 7 or if I want to go 10. If I do $10 as the cutoff, I'm going to end up ending probably a third of what's in my store right now. So, I may go lower than that, probably at least 6 or 7, and that'll be my cutoff. Anything that I've got listed that's gotten down to below that price because I've been lowering things as time has passed. If something's been listed for a while, I'm relisting things, and if it's not helping, and the item has been in my store for over a year, it needs to go. Some things will get lotted up with other things. I've already been kind of doing that, and some things are just going to get put in a pile, and they'll either go to the flea market when I go in the spring, or they're going to go to just be donated. So but that's what I'm going to be doing with the store anyway. As far as my sales go, um again, the ASP that they show you when you're in your seller dashboard in eBay, if you pull up your sales under performance, it shows the ASP, but that is including all the shipping charges and and the tax and stuff that eBay charges the buyer. So it's more than what the item is actually selling for. And so what I'm doing is, eBay's ASP for me for the past, 3 days, 4 days, whatever it's been from the 30th through yesterday. So the second, anyway, the ASP for eBay was 29.07, and I know that's not accurate. So I took my net, which they also give you, but that's not even the actual net, because depending on if you make any money on your shipping, like if you estimate the shipping is going to be $9 and it ends up only being 6, you might make $3 on your shipping. It's not ever that much for me. It's usually $1.50 more that I'll make if I do make anything on the shipping. But that adds to your net, your actual net, not what eBay lumps together, So I pull the numbers after I've shipped the item and what my net is from that. My actual ASP was $14.18. So that is the average sale price per item for me, for the 3 days that I pulled the numbers for, or 4 days. So anyway, that is it for now. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching and welcome to new subscribers. I have a few. I don't know where they came from, but thank you for being here and for subscribing. And again, I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.